What do you know, at the moment I start recording, the noon siren goes off on Saturday. Anyway, luckily we can cut that out. Underneath here is a whole bunch of fun. What is it? I'm not quite sure. But let's get it out and let's take a look, shall we? Alright, here she is. This is the Mini Goat. A 72 volt, 5500 watt direct drive beast of a little bike. Goes about 50 miles an hour. Probably could go faster with a smaller, lighter rider, but for us larger middle-aged men, I guess it actually does all right. So when we got this out of the box, there was only one issue, and that's because the way the FedEx guy decided to carry this here. You can see it got broke, but that's okay. They're sending me another one. And then on its maiden voyage, the peg fell apart. Other than that, it was a good experience getting it together. I got the 50 amp hour battery, which, by the way, is a nightmare to get in. You definitely want to lay the bike down, because the 50 amp hour battery consumes basically the whole battery compartment, which is the set we're looking at. And it's incredibly heavy. I'm not sure how heavy, but it is heavy. So you want to consider that. All right, let's get our helmet and gloves on and let's strike out. You can see it, yeah, the sun is kind of a problem. So anyway, all right, let's go. I will say this. The customer service from Goat has been great. As I showed you, FedEx decided to carry my box, which resulted in the throttle body, or the throttle housing, being broke. So the ignition's kind of squirrely. I'm going to replace that. I actually have the extended handlebars coming in. I just want a little more relaxed position. I kind of lean forward a lot, mostly because, I don't know, I just lean forward and it's fine, but sometimes you want something a little more comfortable or a little more chill. Around here I don't really have to worry about the police too much. They're pretty chill. You know, the biggest thing I've noticed, if you don't act like a jerk, you won't be treated like a jerk. So I think if more people who have e-bikes don't do stupid stuff all the time, it'd probably go a lot better. Being here in Tennessee, probably different in like Nashville or places like that, but here in the Memphis area, I don't know many people that have e-bikes. You're starting to see the kids get them more. You're seeing a lot more electric and electric clones. So, you know, which is good. Get the kids out there riding. Seeing a lot more electric scooters. Here, we'll go up a gear. There, we're cruising along at about 24 miles an hour. And I will say this bike will do every bit of 50. I've tried it. It does. I don't feel like there's any need to go that fast. I mean, I guess it's nice if you need to kind of detour and you may have to try to keep up with traffic a little bit more. There's no bike lanes. Luckily around here we are share the road and there's lots of bike lanes, which is nice. So for the most part, you're not going to have too many issues. The Goat has been a massive improvement. I bought a Ghost Cat last year. I had done some side work. I've been talking about getting an e-bike. The Ghost Cat appeared to be a good decision. For some reason, my Ghost Cat was a complete nightmare. I've replaced every single part on it except for the front headlight. I've replaced the brake sensors, throttle, rear brake assembly, controller. The only thing I haven't replaced is the motor, which actually died. Apparently sitting up in the winter doing nothing caused some sort of problem, and so the motor locked up. Like, it wouldn't spin at all. You could hit the throttle, it would give you a wattage rating telling you're sending X amount of power to the motor, and the motor would do nothing. Opened a ticket with Ghost Cat, and they sent me a motor, and it ended up being the wrong motor. It took me a month or two to get to it. I've just been very busy with work, which is why my videos have kind of just all but stopped, or actually have all but stopped. Sometimes life gets a little crazy. I've taken on a new role at work. After getting promoted, it was a little chaotic for a few months, getting acclimated to new responsibilities. A lot of stuff I've already been doing, but now it was for realsies, so I had to step up my A game and things of that nature. So very busy. Things have calmed down. Rebuilt the team. We've brought in some new people, so that's helped tremendously. We've got some really good people, so that's helped. So I've gotten back into e-biking, obviously. I get on, I have electric XP4, I ride that a lot for exercise. The Ghost Cat I bought originally for exercise, but I didn't know the difference between cadence and torque sensors. And learned pretty quickly that while the Ghost Cat's cool and whatnot, it's just not for exercise. It is definitely for fun. And you could get, you could burn a few calories. But a good friend of mine bought the Goat Mini, or Mini Goat I should say, and absolutely loved it. He too had a Ghost Cat, had a ton of issues. He actually got hurt on his. He ended up selling it and bought himself the Mini, and he had enjoyed it, and he kind of convinced me maybe I should get one. The biggest rub with buying some of these bikes, they are expensive. This one all in was just shy of $4,000. I did opt for the 50 amp hour battery, which I don't think I charged all the way last night, but that's okay. This battery lasts freaking forever. It's almost insane. Particularly when you're going slower like I am. You're just kind of cruising around, enjoying life as you're supposed to on two wheels. It'll go a while. Easily 50 miles. I forgot to track the last time, but I'm pretty sure it is well over 50 miles. As I was saying, my buddy told me to get one of these things. I did, and it's been great. This has been a lot of fun. It's got a lot of power if you need it. It does take a minute to get used to. If you're used to, smaller bikes, that's what I rode on, was smaller CC bikes. You pull the throttle, sure they go, but they don't go like electric does. You're essentially dumping, I think this thing has 170 Newton meters of torque, which is not shabby at all. It essentially dumps all 170 as soon as you twist this throttle and gets you on down the road. I'll say this, it's a comfortable ride. It just kind of glides along. The bike is heavy, not like unwieldy heavy. It's heavy in the sense that it remains planted on the ground. If you decide to do 50, the bike is heavy enough to where it remains planted. It also helps these are not bicycle tires, which is unfortunately very common on e-bikes, particularly high-powered. E-bikes still will have bicycle tires, foldable bicycle tires on them, and they're cranking 3,000 watts, and actually my Ghost Cat threw its tire, most likely because It's just too much power on those little lightweight garbage tires they put on there. They're allegedly decent tires. I don't know if I agree. The city I live in is supposed to be repaving these roads, and as you see, they are just throwing down gravel. So I have to be pretty careful, or it could be a bad day, and I don't feel like skinning myself up. Mind you, this has been this way for a while. I don't know what the city thinks it's doing, but I do know that citizens are unhappy, to say the least, since this has been weeks. People are having issues with windshields getting broke from all the rocks getting thrown everywhere. Memphis area is kind of notorious for crap roads, so you just kind of get used to it after a while. Having roads that are got potholes in them, you can lose your car. I hate driving either of my cars in certain parts of Memphis because the roads are just, they're unserviceable. Man, this bike is so much fun. You can just lean into stuff. It doesn't care. Again, you got scooter tires, so you got legitimate street tires that can handle speed, that can handle power. I'm very lucky we have bike lanes. However, in the evening, people park in the bike lanes, which you're not supposed to do. It's a big issue. People do it anyway because they don't care and they suck. I will say this, I'm lucky that traffic wise is not too bad around here. Yeah, this truck in front of me is spewing force and nastiness. Jeez. Terrible. Where I live now is just a couple blocks from my childhood home, which we're actually approaching the neighborhood right now. And it's kind of weird because I can cruise through the neighborhood that I grew up. It's like, you know, all your first friends you remember, or, you know, some people first crushes, or this, that. You know, all the memories you make as a kid, and then when you move, it's like, oh my God, it's the end of the world. Probably noticing, even for a Saturday, there's not a lot of traffic out here. Alright, more bike lane time. Right here is where you can go bike. It's a dirt bike trail. It's pretty cool. There's 12 miles in the middle of the city where you can go and dirt bike stuff. It's really wild. Actually, it's not a dirt bike. You can go ride your mountain bike. If you go in there with a motorized vehicle, they'd probably lynch you. I'm surprised how traffic is so light today. I'm not going to complain. Saturdays are usually pretty crazy. What's fun about this road, it's 6 lanes and not really used. So I can get on here and just pin the throttle, have fun. 42 miles an hour on an e-bike. Super stable. It really is a whole bunch of fun. Obviously, we don't want to go on the highway. That would not be smart. You just turn around and keep going. I kind of imagine that the mini goat is not unlike like a Grom or a monkey or something like that in the fun little mini bike kind of way. It definitely has that aesthetic. Personally, I think the Grom and the monkey are cool little bikes. I feel like 125cc for 95% of people is more than enough to go have fun on 2 wheels. You don't have to have 1,000 cc's. I will say this is a lot of fun too. People that are purists, that just enjoy the exhilaration of 2 wheels, I think e-bikes bring that. The cost point's a little wonky, unfortunately. Like this bike here, paid almost $4,000 for it. You can buy a Grom or a Monkey for less than that. And if you go used, you can find one all day long. Of course, you can find these used. E-bikes are all over every marketplace there is. Alright. That's always a ton of fun. Ton of fun. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but have you ever noticed that when e-bikes get near cars, they just flip out? Now look at this guy. I don't know what he's doing. He obviously doesn't know what he's doing either. That makes me nervous when cars just sit here and act weird. What's pretty cool is that you have blinkers. So you can tell people that you are navigating through traffic and not just, well, let's face it. Most people do not use blinkers. But this bike has blinkers. I would recommend people use blinkers if they have them, so you can indicate that you're going to make a lane change. So, let's see, we've done 14 miles, used a whole volt. We've used 1 volt. Actually, pardon me, we've used 2. We were at 81.5 volts. We are now at 79. I think we're going to pop into this park. I'll buy us a chance to chat for a second. Alright guys, this is the Mini Goat. 72 volt little pocket rocket, really. It's kind of crazy how fast these little guys are. See those nice big tires. It's really quite fun to ride. Like you saw on the odometer, we got about 125 miles on it. So yeah, we've really enjoyed this bike. I'd recommend it. If you're looking for something that if you need to go fast you can, or want to go fast you can, because it will do 50 miles an hour. There's no doubt about that. And I am over the weight limit. I think the weight limit is 220. I'm over that. Got a whole bunch, but middle-aged life, you know, for the win. But yeah, fun little bike. I don't know how much it costs to charge it, probably $0.25. So it's less than your motorcycle. There's no insurance. I do recommend getting insurance though if you get hurt or hurt someone else. I mean, let's face it, you could run into the back of a vehicle. You can do all kinds of things. So you probably should get some insurance. A lot of homeowners will do riders. I think there's actually some of the e-bike companies like Electric have insurance as well. So there are alternatives. But I do recommend protecting yourself. Always wear a helmet. I always recommend wearing gloves. I'm wearing shorts. That's not smart. Appropriately. And that's on me. But that's okay. Some people are just stupid. I'm one of those. I am going to vinyl wrap the bike. Not a whole bunch, but I don't know why people buy stuff and then they don't customize it. It's like, you spend all this money, you should make it your own, right? Alright, let's go ride some more. That's what this thing is for, right? So, very lucky that we have so many bike lanes around here. The issue is that e-bikes are violized because Surons and the like, I guess. I don't know if it's a bike problem. I think it's a person problem. I think it's very similar to some of the other arguments we have. You get dum-dums doing stupid stuff, it ruins it for everybody, right? Some of these people are making the bike lane a little close. Like I said, what is it about cars that freak out just because there's a bike in the bike lane? Someone tell me. I need to know. I need to know the answer to this because it doesn't make any sense to me. It's no different than a car being in the lane next to you. I mean, that's essentially what it is. Go up in here. Look, a little beaver. How cute. Good photo op. What do you think, guys? What do you think? I think it's funny, there's a stop sign. I mean, what are we expecting to come on this path? Well, I don't certainly want to go to a neighborhood. I prefer to see what's out here. I can't remember if I've been through here or not. I kind of go all over the place, so it's hard for me to remember. Really don't know where I'm at. So there's that. I guess we'll figure it out where this goes. But there's a bike lane, so let's take advantage of it. Ah, I do know where I'm at. This is not necessarily where I want to be. Alright, so we just looped around. You know what? Now that we've done all this chill riding, we could do a hill test. We'll stay back, make sure no one decides to make a turn and mow us down. So you can see the bridge ahead, or the hill ahead. It's to go over railroad tracks. So we'll see what little dude here can do for 40 or so miles an hour. We'll see if it keeps pulling or if it starts dropping speed. No, it's still sitting at the same speed. Yeah, so it's lost a little bit of speed. It's a pretty steep incline. Yeah, we dropped about 2.2 miles an hour up that incline. I would say that's pretty decent. Pretty steep hill. I'm kind of heavy. I mean, let's be honest. Back to chill ride mode because there's no reason to act the fool through here. So we've done 20 miles. I would say it's a decent little ride. We got how much? Quite a bit more juice to go. Now you see cops around here don't care. For the most part, e-bikes don't really get much hate. Also, it helps that I'm not, flying through here 40 miles an hour, popping a wheelie. Well, I would say that is pretty much it for our ride right now. I will be back, as I do plan to do a review on the electric. Alright, so that is it for now. Gotta park our friend, hop her out of gear, and call it done. I hope you enjoyed the ride. Always enjoy doing these. Oh Lord, getting old. This thing is a lot of fun. Highly recommend it. A lot of fun. Ignore my trash can. Anyway, I appreciate you tuning in. This is Jay from Jay's Hobbies. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, all that crazy algorithm stuff. I will see you soon.